Ben McKee, Rob Lewis here with a full court press on the off day here in Indianapolis. Just got done listening to Juwan Howard, Rick Barnes, players from Michigan and Tennessee, and the thing that stood out to me the most, Rob, was the respect level between Juwan Howard and Rick Barnes, which is to be expected because Rick Barnes seems to have a lot of respect with a lot of coaches outside of one in West Tennessee.
That's a nice joke. Yeah, pretty obvious that those two guys liked each other, and I think got a chance to know each other quite a bit when Tennessee was recruiting Juwan's son Jet, who is a senior in high school right now, and not surprisingly ended up picking Michigan. But Coach Howard, made it pretty plain that he thought there was legitimate interest there. It wasn't just token interest on Jet's part, and Rick made it clear he didn't feel like they were wasting their time, but at the same time was not surprised that the son ended up sticking with the father.
In terms of X's and O's, we'll start with Michigan. Their talking points seem to be locking in on Tennessee's guards and being very well aware that Tennessee's success on offense and defense starts with their guards.
Yeah, a lot of respect from Juwan for Tennessee's wings, for the ability that Santi and Josiah have to put the ball in the basket. Talked pretty glowingly about Kennedy Chandler, what he's been able to get done as a freshman, and I agree with him. I think it's pretty obvious that this team is going as far as the guards take them.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that Juwan Howard compared Santi in terms of how he runs around to Ray Allen and J.J. Redick, Reggie Miller, Duncan Robinson. I didn't realize we were watching an NBA Hall of Famer all year long. But from Tennessee's standpoint, and we talked about this last night, it all starts with Tennessee defending the post, and everybody's got to chip in.
Yeah, a lot of that's going to have to do. Tennessee's going to have to be really good on the perimeter. Coach Barnes mentioned it, but in basketball, when you're undersized, Tennessee's not going to be severely undersized, but it's going to be tough for anybody to match up with Hunter Dickinson in college basketball. And then you throw Diabate in there, and they've got two legit bigs. Ball pressure out front is going to have to be really good as far as not really making it difficult for the entry passes. And Tennessee's post guys are going to really have to work to get Dickinson off his spots. If he gets it on the low block and can kind of turn over that left shoulder, he's really good.
Really, the only other noteworthy item from today's press conferences, and I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, so forgive me, but Michigan starting point guard looks like he's going to be back tomorrow. Did not play yesterday against Colorado State because of a concussion, but traveled down, was practicing this morning, it sounded like, and looks like he's going to be a game-time decision. So something to keep an eye on there. Rob, as you've digested the fact that Tennessee is going to link back up with Michigan on Saturday morning, since last night, any added thoughts or just kind of your thoughts on the game less than 24 hours after finding out that we'll play?
I like Tennessee's matchup against Michigan, and just I'm not an expert on the Wolverines, but have watched them. I watch a lot of college basketball, and I've seen Michigan, and they to me seem so inconsistent. What were they, 17 and 14 in the regular season? I think kind of lucky to even be in this field, but sort of legitimize themselves against Colorado State. But I think Tennessee has a really big advantage at the guard spots, which would be the case against a lot of teams in this field. But I look for Tennessee's guards to have a big day tomorrow, both ends of the court.
Right. And last thing before we get out of here, just in terms of the atmosphere tomorrow, I'm curious as to what you are expecting, because I know Tennessee fans are obviously very happy that Kentucky lost for obvious reasons. But I think it's a low-key, really big development for Tennessee, because had Kentucky won, Kentucky would have played the second game of the session, and it would have been an arena 80 to 90% that's rooting against Tennessee. Michigan fans and Kentucky fans in the same arena all rooting for Tennessee. You're not going to have that anymore.
Yeah, it would have been, if Michigan could have given the building something to cheer about, you're right. The vast majority of Kentucky fans it wouldn't have been SEC, it would have been screw Tennessee. I hope they get beat and go home in the second round.
Yep.
And anybody who's in Indianapolis this week knows that this place, the sidewalks were jammed with Wildcat tears last night. So I would anticipate that it'll be a much different building in there tomorrow. I think some Tennessee fans will probably drive up, take advantage of the available tickets, but it's not going to be the kind of atmosphere that it would have been had St. Peter's not done that.
Yeah, and the good thing for Kentucky fans is that they did have Murray State to root for last night, so at least they didn't go home empty-handed. But curious to see the Tennessee turnout. I know a lot of my buddies are looking at the ticket prices and seeing them drop and thinking about coming up. So should be a fun atmosphere. Michigan fans will show out. Tennessee fans will as well. We'll have plenty of coverage at Volquest about the game. He's Rob Lewis. I'm Ben McKee.